Each year, Covanta processes more than 16 million tonnes of waste into nearly 8 million megawatt hours of clean, renewable electricity. Enough energy to power all the homes in a city the size of Philadelphia and its surrounding suburbs. It also creates £10 billion of steam, which it sells to a variety of industries.
The County of Union decided to build a waste-to-energy plant or energy from waste plant, as opposed to rely on landfilling. Some other counties did select landfilling, but we were, I think in hindsight, very, I think, fortunate that we selected this technology.
But how does this system actually work? Covanta's energy from waste process takes municipal solid waste and transfers it into combustion chambers, where it is burned at high temperatures and reduced to 10% of its original volume. Water in steel tubes that form the walls of the combustion chambers is heated by the combustion process until it turns to steam. And the steam powers the turbine that generates the electricity. Every tonne of waste processed into energy by Covanta is the equivalent of 1 barrel of oil that would otherwise have to be imported, or a quarter tonne of coal that would have to be mined. It also means that 1 less tonne of greenhouse gases are generated. As a result, from its energy from waste processes to date, Covanta has prevented more than 250 million tonnes of greenhouse gases from being emitted into the atmosphere. That's the equivalent of planting nearly 6 billion trees.
We operate 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, generating clean, renewable energy from simple household waste.
In total, Covanta currently generates enough renewable electricity to power approximately 1 million US homes, while processing more than 5% of the nation's waste. The company now operates internationally with facilities in Europe and China. While Europe is aiming to reduce the amount of biodegradable municipal waste that is landfilled to 75% of 1995 levels, China is hoping to use 30% of its waste to produce energy by 2030.
It's important for business leaders as well as political leaders to work cooperatively to find solutions that are sustainable both environmentally and economically. No single solution is going to address climate change, but one part of the answer is going to be making more energy from waste.
As the world's search for a replacement for fossil fuels becomes increasingly urgent, it could be argued that Covanta is already presenting a viable, clean and affordable solution to the growing energy and environmental challenge faced by humanity today. Those solutions like those presented by Covanta are indisputable as fuel alternatives. Implementing such technologies on a large scale are another matter. The main challenge that will face delegates at COP15 in December is to agree a way forward that works for all, both for developing and developed countries. Speaking exclusively to this programme, UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon outlined the importance of reaching an agreement and the advantages this could have for business across the board.
Investing now in green solutions is cheaper and ultimately more profitable than spending more later to cope with the impacts of climate change. Over the medium and long term, green investments provide the only basis for sustainable prosperity.
One area where this is clearly being proven is in the computer industry. Here in Palo Alto, California, is the headquarters of one of the world's largest IT corporations, Hewlett-Packard. For decades, HP has worked to manage its environmental impact by adopting environmentally responsible practices in its product development, operations, and supply chain.
For our own operations, we have a goal of cutting our greenhouse gas emissions by 20%. And for our products, we have a goal of reducing our greenhouse gas emissions by 40%.
Two of the key initiatives focus on human resources and product development. HP employs more than 300,000 people across the world. With an individual estimated to have a carbon footprint of 4 tons per year, HP recognised the need to offer their employees eco-alternatives. As a result, the company is initiating a comprehensive green employee programme. and it is staff like Janet G who are benefiting.
Well, I think it's important for HP to offer green initiatives in a couple of things for their employees, to make it easy for them to take advantage of ways to make the earth a better place to live for everyone, both at their home and on their work site as well as in their community.
HP has set up an employee green home toolkit to enable simple energy-saving upgrades in the home. This includes a kilowatt meter to quantify the biggest electricity consumers in the house, a thermometer to measure the water heater, refrigerator and freezer temperatures, and a water flow meter bag to measure sink and shower flows. Once employees have measured their energy usage, HP offers a number of simple tips on how to improve this and further reduce CO2 emissions. In 2008, HP teamed up with its solar energy provider to offer staff solar panels at a reduced rate in order to further reduce CO2 emissions amongst its employees. So far, more than 60 employees in the California area have bought the solar panels.
My electrical bill used to be $50 a month, and as a result of the solar panels, it's basically gone down to zero, except for $5 to pay the meter guy to come read my meter every month.
There are several benefits for employees being involved in environmental initiatives. The first is the cost reductions. So when you turn off your lights, when you use less energy at work, that saves money. Number two, it's always good to do the right thing. And we all know that global warming is an issue, and our employees are aware of that, and they want to do the right thing. So there's a lot of employee morale that's created through our environmental programs. And we've also noticed when we're recruiting, when we start talking about what we're doing within the company, that creates interest among the talent that we're trying to hire.
HP is not only focusing on its employees, but its products as well. The company is tackling data centers, one of the oldest and heaviest consumers of electricity in the IT technology industry.
We're finding that data centers that were designed even 3 years ago are rapidly becoming obsolete. So our customers are needing help from Hewlett-Packard in terms of how to retrofit these data centers, or in some cases design new data centers to meet their needs. Now, in addition, it's very interesting that for every dollar that customers spend on their IT, they're spending $1.17 on power, cooling, and light.
Between 2000 and 2006, the amount of energy used to store and handle data doubled, with the average data facility using as much energy as 25,000 households. It is estimated that by 2020, data centers will account for 22% of the total IT carbon footprint, compared to 13% in 2007. To combat this, HP is designing initiatives to make data centers more energy efficient.
HP has been underway to transform our data centers, and in fact we have gone from 85 data centers down to 6. And as a result, we've been able to lower our energy costs by 75%, both based on this type of consolidation work, but in addition, putting in place the more modern, efficient systems.
But this is just the start, and HP is already developing its data center designs for the future. Currently under construction by HP is the Wynyard facility in northeast England, due to be completed at the end of 2009. It incorporates a number of design considerations that are expected to make it one of the largest and most environmentally friendly data centers in Europe once fully constructed. The center is expected to use 98% less energy for cooling and 40% less energy overall compared to conventional data centers, through the use of harvested rainwater, lighting management, and alternative energy sources such as wind turbines. Through virtualization technology, it will deliver 3 times as much computational capacity. The center will produce more than 8,000 tons less of CO2 per year compared to standard data centers.
IT has a unique role to play today. We can use this IT ecosystem made up of billions of handheld devices, thousands of data centers, and print factories, and enable next generation infrastructure. As an example, we can build cities of tomorrow, sustainable cities where the IT ecosystem is seamlessly integrated into the city, and the IT ecosystem is used to minimize the consumption of resources. As an example, water, power, waste. IT can play a big role in sensing and managing these resources